Can anybody hear me? Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Julia. How are you? I know there's no video. I'm in bed. I'm not showing my video. I was trying to figure out how to share my screen, but I haven't gotten that advanced yet. So, like, take something and put it like over that horrible red snow. Once I figure out how to share my screen this way, I'm gonna do that, but I haven't quite figured it out yet. It's a little bizarre. So sorry. You're new with us, aren't you, Miss Julia? It's always that kind of show, Jeffrey. Yeah. Whether you know it or not, I am always in bed when I do these. I'm like literally in my pajamas. Oh, well, you're new to me. You must have been here when Mahir was here. My God, that red snow is terrible. Everybody put something else on top of it. Like, you know how you can stack windows? Stack a window. I'm just trying this out. I'm not sure if I like this because people can talk to me in the Zoom, and I'm not sure how I can let people speak in here if it's even possible. Again, I have to figure this out a little bit. This is like a test run because I kind of want to move over to this genre because everybody keeps asking me to replay them and I never replay them. So I figure with this avenue, people can come watch them whenever they want. I'm normally very stingy, but I'm going to try and not be stingy. I'm so excited. I have a pizza here from Cafaro's Pizza in South River, New Jersey, which I haven't had a pizza from there. I've been eating pizza from there since I was 5 years old, and it's still there, and it's still the same pizza. It's amazing. And so I have a pizza from there. I had to go to New Brunswick today, so I was like, while I'm here, I'm gonna get me a Cafaro's pizza. And, oh my God, it's the same pizza as it was, like, 45 years ago. It's just amazing. Well, Julia, we're gonna try this, so hopefully this will work out for people who wanna rewatch. Trying to get the stingy out of my heart. I'm just kidding. So also, anybody who's hasn't been on live streams before, if you really want me to take note of something, if you type a hashtag, it's either a hashtag or an @ symbol. Might be an @ symbol. And then pack and click pack trumpeter, it'll show up in yellow, if I'm not mistaken. People who've joined, say hello. Are you out there in Cali, Julia? Also, what I've decided with this channel, you should subscribe and then hit the notification. I know everybody says that and it's kind of like mundane, but I think that I'm going to like randomly go live whenever like a weird situation hits. I'm going to randomly go live. And so you might want to know about that to find out about the weird situation I'm encountering so I could talk about it. Might be a good thing to do. I know I hate when people say like and subscribe and notification. I hate when that happens, except that I'm going to randomly go live. So be kind of cool if you could catch it. You're all West Coasters out there, huh? My nephew just moved to Seattle. I'm so sad. I'm so sad. I miss him. He's all the way across the country. Very sad. Although he got a job at Amazon, so that's not so bad. It's not so bad at all. This is weird. Like the number of participants keeps going like up and down, up and down. But so, you know, type some questions. Let's talk about notes. What do we got? Jeffrey, how many notes do you have? Actually, you know what's funny about that? In Italy, I never go to Italy in August because it's Ferragosta and the entire country is on like hiatus for a month. And so I'm always like wanting to go somewhere in August, but I never want to go to Italy. So so it might be a good idea, you're right, to come out to Seattle, visit my nephew out there in Seattle in August. As far as the coffee, it has to be super strong for me. It is very mean to say that you're wearing shorts on your patio. Indeed, it is. Very, very mean. Years ago when I was married, I went on a business trip in San Diego. My husband was an avid gambler. And so I'm at this business conference doing work, brought my husband along with me. And before I knew it, he found out there was like an Indian casino and he had bus tickets to go to this Indian casino. I was like, oh my God, how fast did you figure that out? But it was so beautiful. San Diego is arguably the best weather in the entire country. It's like, what, 76 all year round, never changes. And we were at a hotel that was right across from where they hold the regatta, the weekly regatta. Fantastic. So you own 6 non-performings. Are they firsts or seconds? I don't know if I'm going to like this. I prefer when people talk. I might do Google Hangouts next time on the YouTube Live. We could do Google Hangouts on the air on YouTube Live. That might be the way to go. Ooh, you know, it would be funny if I wonder if I could put this on my Roku at the same time that I have it on my laptop. That would be interesting.
Nothing short of stunning. It is over 500 pages long, and it.
Why are you scared of seconds, Jeffrey? The investment, the return is far superior to firsts. Far superior. Instead of like 15% returns, you get like conservatively 30, closer to like 60 on average. Allie, we're trying a new format here. How are you? I'm going to start posting these on YouTube Live and then like randomly do live, go live when like weird situations come up. Oh, it says I'm live now and it's bright red. Oh, that's so funny. Oh, it says I'm live now and it's bright red. Oh, that's so funny. And there's a delay. And there's a delay. I just, I just put my live stream on my TV so I could check it out. Well, Jeffrey, here is the place to learn about seconds because I hate firsts. I only like seconds. Aw, thank you, Allie. So what do you want to know about seconds? I'll tell you anything you want to know, Jeffrey. Do you like Jeff or Jeffrey? I'm so excited by this format. I think it's going to be like great. Allie, we're really testing the medium, but we're going to do a Q&A because I love Q&A. But we're really kind of testing the medium tonight. And then I'm going to figure out how to get guests on, and I'm going to figure out how to get something other than this webcam with a Post-it note over it on the screen. So that's the main focus tonight, is like testing the medium, but also Q&A because we love Q&A. Allie is also supreme. She's relatively new to the seconds arena, but in a very short time, she has gone from 0 to 1,000. Her knowledge and her activity in seconds. Let's see. So with your loss mitigation packages, do you find that asking for too detailed a package dissuades borrowers from engaging? Paperwork needed too daunting. Are you talking about the initial hello package, Julia? Well, if you're talking about the hello package, I used to send requests for financials. Well, I used to send that in my welcome package. Here's the thing. Requests for financials are a double-edged sword. I always tell you that. Tell everyone that. And the reason that is if you send somebody a request for financials and they fill it out and then back it up with proof, bank statements, pay stubs, that kind of thing. And you do the numbers on their budget, and you find out rather from your analysis of their financial situation that they can't pay. You can't make them pay. So the question you need to ask yourself is, do you really want the financials? If you do a workout with somebody without getting the financials, then you're kind of going on their word that they can pay, which may be better, even though they maybe can't. So it all comes down to what kind of investor do you want to be? Do you want to force somebody to make payments that you clearly know that they can't afford, even though they're going to try and do everything they can to pay you? Or do you just not want to know about it and take their word for it? So it's in our case, we don't send requests for financials. We just do a workout with them, get the loan mod / forbearance, and continue on. We don't ask for financials. What we do ask them for, once we're at the workout stage, is we ask them to sign a senior lien authorization, meaning we can call the senior lien at any time we want and get a status. And also we ask them to ACH the payments. So that's really, other than the workout agreement that we ask them to sign, we ask them for those 2 additional documents. We also collect a copy of their driver's license. But without the detail, you can't really get a good picture of their financial resources. So that's kind of the point. Maybe you don't want a really good picture of their financial resources. Even if they tell you they want a loan mod, just do the workout with them. Come up with a payment, agree on it, agree on the terms, however much they're going to give you up front, and then proceed on. So Jeffrey, so on seconds, you make contact with the homeowner directly. With the first, I have a special servicer make right party contact so I don't... Right. In second position, we do our own workouts. PAC does our own workouts. We don't board it with a servicer until we have a workout. So we do our own customer outreach or client outreach. As long as you know the rules of what you can say and what you can't say, and what you can do and what you can't do, the proper times that you can call versus when you can't call. As long as you know those things, you can do your own outreach. In fact, it's a lot cheaper. So to those who joined, I'm sorry for the red snow on the screen, but I'm in bed and I don't really want everybody to see me. So put a screen over top of it so you don't have to see it. Yeah, Allie is right. Oftentimes borrowers will come to you after they receive your welcome package. Like when you first buy notes, you should send out a welcome package. It's always a nice thing to do. And you kind of have to anyway. You should include in that your RESPA TILA letter. Also, we send a monthly statement in there. We also send an offer for payoff of 20% right up front. So a bunch of different things go into the welcome package. And then after the welcome package is sent, oftentimes people will call you and say, hey, I'd really like to work this out with you. And of course you get the sob story that my wife is leaving me because I have dirt floors in my kitchen. I don't have any money. That you get that initial reticence on the part of the borrower. But once you start talking to them and you develop a relationship with them, it'll never happen on the first phone call. It usually takes 3-4 phone calls, developing a relationship and some trust with the borrower. They'll often just okay, what can we do? How can, I can afford, my payment was originally $800 a month. I can now afford $500. And then you just work it out. Couple points. You always want to get a little bit of money up front so that they theoretically have skin in the game. If they give you $5,000 up front, then it sort of will keep them more honest with their monthly payments, sending you the monthly payments on time. So, another thing is you don't want to ever take money off the table. What we always do with it is put it on the tail end at 0% interest. So like sort of a mini balloon. So once they're done paying off the workout, then they start going into the arrears and the interest that we theoretically, air quotes, forgave. And then we do that at 0% interest. And the reason we do that, we never kind of expect to get to that point. But if that homeowner ever decides to sell their house, we have their money on the table that we can collect. So Julia writes, I want them to be able to afford the payments. I know they modified the first recently from their 401k to stop a senior foreclosure. Right. And you do want them to pay. The point is, the moment you ask for their financials, if you do the analysis on their financials and you find out they can't pay, you can't ask them to pay. So, let's say you spent $20,000 on a note and you find out they send you all of their financials, they send you their bank statements, their tax filings, their pay stubs, and you do an analysis on their expenses and you find out they in fact cannot pay you. You can't ask them to pay. A little bit different though, if they say they can afford $400 a month and you haven't gotten their financials, and then you can do the workout for $400 a month. People know what they can afford. So you should really just leave it up to them to tell you what they can afford. It's kind of the way I look at it. The borrower is an hourly worker at a superstore. She says she can only afford 60 to 100 monthly. Hence my desire to see her entire financial picture. Well, how much was her original payment, Julia? Julia, how much was the original payment? Okay, so but there has to be some idea as to what it was. Even if you just do a regular amortization, you'll find out some idea of what it was. Let me tell you a story about one that we had. We had a very old lady who was on a fixed income Social Security out in California, in fact. And she could only afford $25 a month. So we took her $25 a month. It's all she could afford. Our intent was not to, make any headway on her loan with her $25 a month, but was to keep it open so that when she sells it, she will get our money. So it's just, in other words, when you go to foreclosure, you have to oftentimes affirm the debt. And the best way to affirm the debt is tell the court the last time a payment was made. So you want them to pay you something. You understand? So you want them to pay you $25, $50, $100 just to make sure that you're keeping the payment open. So if you ever have to foreclose, you can say, well, Judge, she paid me as recently as 4 months ago. It's an affirmation of the debt. And oftentimes it's your best proof of the debt, because sometimes borrowers will come into court and go, I don't owe that money. That's not a valid lien. Well, you just paid it 4 months ago, so clearly it's valid. Does that like help you along this path of getting her financials and understanding how that can hurt you as well as help you? Sometimes you just take a very small payment just to keep the loan open. Eventually, she's going to sell the house and you're going to get paid. Or in our case, in California, unfortunately, she's a very old lady and nature is going to take its course and then we'll get paid when it goes through her estate. But that's why we take her little, in fact, it costs us $15 a month in servicing. We make $10 a month on it, but it's worth it just to get the payment. I like that. Yes, you do not want the financials. It's not the best way to go. Let them tell you. People know what they can afford. People know what they can do. They'll tell you, and you can basically just say, I know my situation. I know if somebody said to me, "Can you afford $400 a month?" No, that's kind of tough right now. I can do $250. Do whatever you can to work it in. Well, and you're right. Allie's right with the forbearance, except in PAC's case, we never do recorded loan modifications. We always do forbearances. We never, ever, ever do recorded loan modifications. And in our forbearance, there's language that says, if you become delinquent on this forbearance, we're going to revert back to the original terms and all of your progress made on this forbearance will be lost. It's another way to keep them paying. It's to their benefit. That was a good scenario. I like it. Well, this is why we don't like Land Home, Allie. I don't know why you insist on keeping loans with Land Home. They're horrific. When we did the note group trade, and Land Home was like, well, we have a 200 loan minimum, but you can keep these here. We don't mind that. We were like, no, deboard them, get them out of there. Get them out. FCI will do a forbearance forever. Land Home sucks. I'm sorry, I didn't say that. I'm sorry. So Jeff, what is the single thing you're most interested in determining firsts? What's different about firsts versus seconds? What's the biggest thing you're interested in learning about? The biggest point? Yeah, I'm completely anti-Land Home. Completely and utterly anti-Land Home. There's a new one on the market, or coming to the forefront, called Allied. I don't know if it's new, but it's new to me. And I haven't really done research on it because I'm ridiculously happy with FCI. So I can't really speak to it, but if anybody knows about Allied, by all means. So that's an interesting proposition, Julia. So at PAC, we're buy and holders, right? So we always record to ourselves, and we kind of, in addition to being a buy and holder, we refuse to sell notes that we are not holding collateral on. So like in its entirety. So, well, she doesn't really need to record them. I'm going to answer. So in our case, anything that we would sell on Paperstack, well, maybe Paperstack makes you do that. I'm just saying in general, forget Paperstack in general. If you're going to be like a buy and holder and really that's more your focus, you're going to want them assigned to yourself before you sell them. If you're going to be more like a pass through, like you buy them and sell them right away, then you may not want to record them to yourself. It might be an expense you don't want. If Paperstack has that requirement, that's fine. Then you must do it. But I don't sell on Paperstack because we're buy and holders, so we don't really sell anything anywhere.